If you're in healthcare, you know that some certifications are just not optional, right? Whether you're a veteran paramedic or just starting nursing school. So today we're going to break down the absolute gold standard for clinical emergencies, basic life support, or BLS. Let's just get right to the heart of it. In a real clinical emergency, when someone's life is literally on the line, is good enough CPR really good enough? I think we all know the answer to that is a hard no. And that's exactly why the standard for healthcare professionals is so much more than just basic CPR. It's on a completely different level. So first up, let's be clear about what we mean by gold standard. For most jobs in healthcare, BLS isn't just a nice-to-have skill listed on a job posting. Nope, it's a non-negotiable requirement just to be able to practice. So what exactly is BLS? Well, it's way more than just a list of steps. Think of it as the foundational skill set designed specifically for you, the healthcare providers who have to work like a well-oiled machine as a team in super high-stress situations. It's life support built for the clinical world. And this brings us to a really crucial point. A lot of people think BLS is just a fancier name for CPR, but that's not it at all. They're fundamentally different. We're talking about moving way beyond public training and into the world of professional resuscitation. I mean, when you see it side by side, the difference is night and day. On one side, you've got standard CPR, which is absolutely essential and saves lives, don't get me wrong, but it's for the general public. On the other side is BLS for professionals, and here the focus shifts completely to specialized high-performance teamwork. It's a whole different ballgame with much, much higher expectations. The single biggest thing that sets BLS apart is this focus on high-performance resuscitation. That's the core of it, right there. It's built on the idea that you're not acting alone. You're part of a trained team, and every single one of your efforts has to be perfectly orchestrated to save a life. So, what does high performance actually look like in practice? Well, it means mastering team dynamics, because any confusion about who's doing what can cost precious seconds. It means coordinating compressions and breaths so flawlessly that you barely pause blood flow to the brain. It means knowing how to use advanced tools like bag mask devices, and this is huge, getting real-time feedback from technology that tells you if your compression depth and rate are perfect. Every little piece is designed to maximize the quality of care. Okay, so who exactly needs to meet this gold standard? Well, as you can probably guess, the requirement is tied directly to how critical the work is. Yeah, we're talking about nurses, both RNs and RPNs, paramedics and EMRs, physicians, dentists, respiratory therapists, and even students who are on their way to these careers. The regulatory bodies, the colleges, they require this to make sure there's a universal standard for patient safety. The bottom line is pretty simple. If resuscitation could be part of your job, you have to have a current BLS certification, period. Now, if you have a BLS certification, you know this next part all too well, the renewal cycle. You see, unlike a standard first aid course that might be good for 3 years, BLS is different. And believe me, there's a very important reason for that. Just 1 year. That's it. That's the standard renewal cycle. I know it can feel frequent, but it's absolutely critical for making sure that high standard we've been talking about is maintained in a clinical setting. And there's some really clear logic behind this 1-year cycle. First off, resuscitation science is always evolving. Annual renewal means you're always up to date with the latest evidence. Second, these are hands-on skills, and they fade if you don't practice. Performing perfect compressions when the pressure is on, it's just not like riding a bike. And finally, it's all about making sure you are always clinically proficient and ready to go at a moment's notice. So let's bring this all together. You know, it's easy to look at a certification as just another box you have to check off a list, but BLS is so much more than that. It's truly your professional lifeline. Ultimately, what it all boils down to is this. For a healthcare provider, having a valid BLS certification isn't just a piece of paper. It's a fundamental part of who you are professionally, and it's a core part of your duty to your patients. You know, this quote just perfectly captures the whole philosophy behind BLS. Your individual skill is vital, of course, but at the end of the day, it's the ability to work as a high-performance team that is the primary driver of whether a patient survives. That's what this is all about. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Your skills are sharp today, no doubt, but the real question is, will they be just as sharp a year from now? That annual renewal, it isn't just about following some rule. It's your commitment to making sure that the answer to that question is always, always yes. Thanks for tuning in.